Hello, it's Thursday. I'm going to talk nice and close to the mic because there's a lot of background noise going on right now. But today I opened my email, nickisnotgreenmerch@gmail.com, where I receive suggestions from viewers for video ideas. And I came across an email by Alyssa that says, "Hello, my name's Alyssa and I watch you every day. You need to check out this misogynistic asshole, please, I'm begging you." Now I clicked on it and immediately recognized the channel because Curtis has talked about them before. And listen, here on the second channel, Green is Not Nick, I'm not here to do some super research on these guys. I'm just here to take a live look at who these people are and, give my thoughts on them for your entertainment. So listen, we're going to jump right in and just see what happens. The first thing we have here is a YouTube short with almost 1 million views, pretty good like ratio, that says Wage Gap Explained, because if there's anything that is not done enough, it's people correctly explaining the wage gap. So let's hear what he has to say.
It's incredible. I can't tell you how many women have come on this podcast and actually believe in the wage gap myth based on sexism.
So right off the gates, he's got a woman in the room and he's telling her, "I can't believe how many women come in this room and try to tell me that they're being discriminated because of their gender." Just imagine being a woman and going on this guy's podcast and then immediately having him and his receding hairline tell you that you're not actually being discriminated. That's a myth, and let me tell you why. Well, let's see what he has to say.
The wage gap exists because of choice, not sexism. Reality is this.
Right.
The wage gap is nothing more than taking full-time working
my
men,
glasses.
full-time working women, median wages, and comparing them. And when you do that, you find out men make $1 for every 80 cents a woman makes. However, they don't account for degrees held,
No
careers
way.
worked,
No.
the danger of the job, the type of job, hours worked, time taken off, overtime. They don't account for any of that. The reality is this: the top 10 paying jobs are male dominated. Science, technology, engineering, and math. STEM. The top 10 jobs that pay the least are female dominated. Anything involving social work, teachers, etc. It's not that men make more money because they have balls. It's that men make more money because men decide to go into jobs.
Gotcha, bitch.
Okay, so interesting video, right? Well, here's the funny thing. He's absolutely right about all of that. No, of course he's not right. He's a dumbass. And this video has almost 1 million views, and the comments are filled with people who actually believe the statistics this guy is throwing their way, which are no statistics at all. You think if you'd have a podcast and you'd come up with this idea and you'd say all these things, well, they don't factor in the hours worked. They don't factor in the education. They don't factor in your degree. You'd think you'd come with the statistics of what the wage gap is for hours worked, the type of degree you have, the type of job. But the reason why he doesn't do that is because he's wrong. And he knows he's wrong because he needs to just feed his audience, feed the algorithm, tell people what they want to hear. And what they want to hear is that women are not being discriminated by men. They're just crying and whining, these SJWs. Well, Mr. Fresh, I've come with the statistics, and it doesn't take a while. I just jumped on this video and watched it, and all I had to look up was gender pay gap based on job. Very easy thing to do. Now, he's not making a bad criticism, If you take the median wage for all the jobs that men have and all the jobs that women have, yeah, men are going to have a higher wage because you have women who work at home, which is a famously underpaying job. You have women who dominate the education field, which is a famously underpaying job. And so you're going to get that wage gap. But what he fails to bring up is that wage gap still exists when you look at every single specific job. Let's look right here at the 20 most common occupations for women starting at elementary and middle school teachers. You can see that a woman's median weekly earnings for being an elementary and middle school teacher is $1,042, while a man's is $1,161. That's 89.8%. And if you run down this percentage right here, which is the woman's earnings as a percentage of men's, you can see that that number is always under 100, sometimes reaching as low as 63.6% for financial managers, where a woman's only making $1,207 for every man's $1,897. And women take up 54% of that workspace. And look, now you're going to say, hey, well, that's just because there's so many women in the work field or whatever. I don't know what the argument's going to be, but you can look at the other end of the spectrum, the 20 most common occupations for men. And starting at driver/sales workers and truck drivers, where women only take up 5.8% of that workforce, they're only making 76.7%, and we're going to go down the column here. Only making as high as 91.4% of what a man's making for cooks and customer service representatives, but falling well below 80% for a lot of these jobs. And hey, that's just for jobs, but guess what? I brought some more statistics to the table. Women earn less than men at every wage level. Even if you're talking about those big CEOs in the 95th percentile, for every $65 an hour a man's making, a woman's only making $48 an hour. And going all the way down this percentage list, you can see that women are making less than men at every single level. And that's especially in top earners right here. A woman's hourly wage is actually 73.8% of a man's hourly wage at the 95th percentile. So even though this guy is talking about how the top earning fields, these STEM fields, are just all men, well, even women at that level are still making less. Women of every race and ethnicity make less than their male counterparts. Foreign-born women are duly disadvantaged. And right here, remember when he said that they're not accounting for degrees? Well, if we're talking about hourly wages for an advanced degree, let's say you have a master's, a woman is making $33.65 an hour while a man is making $45.84. And that goes all the way down. Even if you don't even have a high school degree, you're still making less than a man. So you go back and you say, this guy had an argument to make, and it took me 2 seconds to look it up. I didn't even have to do research on this video. I just Googled it really quick and found a reputable source. Why is it that he absolutely knew the statistics but decided not to say it to his audience? Well, that's how he makes money. This channel is basically for alpha males who want to be able to tell women why they're not being discriminated against. And he makes money by, reinforcing that idea. You can look at the comments and see people immediately saying it should not be called a pay gap when it's an earnings gap. They don't want to look at the info and want to believe that it's just some type of sexism. Yeah, we actually compare wages at my old accounting firm and actually found a lot of the women made slightly more. Was interesting. Well, if you look right here at accountants and auditors, women are making 80% to what men are making in 2019. That's interesting. I want equal pay with unequal responsibility and difficulty while demanding accommodations for my inability to do the work. Every woman ever. He's spitting Professor Jordan B. Peterson. Facts, bro. If you're looking up to Jordan Peterson for your facts, then, you're not really doing a great job at, being a facts bro. Simple logic and reasoning defeats all arguments. I always hate when a woman says they want equal pay. Of course they want too good part of our jobs. They just don't want the bullshit it comes with. My degree, my years in military services, and my multiple technical school post-military. I get it, man. Sucks when you think you're worth less, but work 160 hours OT in 2 weeks, the same I worked in straight time. Then come home to build a drain system for the new pool you bought your family that you dig up 25 by 25 area by yourself with no machines. Oh, and make sure you dispose of that amount of dirt in less than 5 days. Dude, that guy has a lot of issues. He's got to work out on his own. I think that's a Jeremiah issue. I don't think that's a systematic issue right there. Men have the balls to work crazy jobs. Yes, like this crazy job he has, being on a podcast, just like spewing misinformation about the wage gap. Here's another wonderful video I was sent. It doesn't have to do with the wage gap, but we might as well have a little fun before we end this, now that we've, had a nice educational day on the channel.
Guys, do not be a girl's emotional tampon. If she's crying to you, telling you her problems, whatever, she better be sucking dick and smashing you, okay? And if she's not, you say, I gotta go, leave. That's a privilege for a girl that you're smashing and dealing with romantically, that she can tell you her problems. Otherwise, nope. No platonic friends.
We've run into another no platonic friends guy. Dude, this video has 60,000 views and almost has no dislikes compared to likes. These are like high school boys who are just being tampons to this kind of content. Just sucking up everything this guy says, every ounce of what he says. Nope. No human empathy here, If someone needs your help, if they want to, tell you their problems, if they're not smashing, then I'm passing because I couldn't get caught dead sympathizing with another human being. Nope, not me. I really wish this kind of content existed when I was younger. This is probably a 14-year-old. What are they talking about, like 9? I tend to agree with most of your messages, but I wasted years learning them on my own. Happy now, but I could have played the field so much more in my earlier days. What do you mean played the field? This is just like life. This is meeting people. This is talking to other human beings. Everything is not a game. Don't be a good boy, fellas. Being friend zoned is the ultimate disrespect. The #1 male self-improvement podcast in the world. What are you improving though? Like what part of your life is getting better when you just outcast everyone else in it unless they're having sex with you? Will you talk to your own mother? Or does she have to suck and smash to be able to do that? Money Monday, Womanizer Wednesday, and Fitness Friday. That means today is Thirsty Thursday, just sucking up all that misinformation. Heated debate. Can women separate facts from feelings? See, it's just like blatant, like straight up sexism. Like, men are very logical and straightforward thinking. Is it possible that a female can separate fact from feeling? Like, what difference is there? How to date as a college guy? Oh, I wish I got to see this when I was in college.
All right, guys, how to date as a college guy. Number one thing you gotta understand
is you gotta have hair on your head to be able to do it. Listen, it's a joke for all my boys out there that, you know, are losing their hair. You're still beautiful. But if you're bald and you're spewing this kind of stuff, why are you talking? I love my bald boys. They are just as gorgeous as the next guy, but you cannot be losing your hair and then telling women that they have to suck you off if you're gonna listen to their problems. I mean, if you do have hair, you also can't do that. But especially if you look like this guy. Come on. Also, what are these shirts? Who designed your merch, man?
college campuses are their own ecosystem.
I'm always on the college campus. Even though I'm 35 years old, I'm always seeking out those freshman girls, you know? I got to get on there and play the game right, you know? Get in the bars.
Think of it as a smaller world, a little bit more concentrated.
It's a smaller world because the women are smaller, because they're young, you know? I want to go there and, you know, have sex with an 18-year-old freshman because I'm, you know, 36 and I can't get any action with young women unless I prey on them at a college party.
Especially if it's a Division I school, athletes are at top, fraternities are second, club sports and other activities after that.
Does this guy base his knowledge of college campuses off of like teen movies? Like no one ranks people at college like that. This isn't Project X. Was that a college movie? I don't know. He probably studied it if it was.
If it's a really big Greek life school, you know, fraternities and athletes are almost on the same level. But most schools, especially big schools, athletes are number one. So the point is this. You got to get somewhere within this hierarchy where you have some kind of status. Because
dude, no one's going to like you if this is the way you think of college. No one will like you. Be cool. Be nice. Have friends. Eat rice. That rhymed. Why does this guy look like he lives in a porn set? I'm confused what's going on.
Campuses, the Pareto principle is even more pronounced, okay? All the girls are really fighting for that top small percentage of guys, and everyone else is fighting.
No one's fighting for anything. What is this? What movie are we living in? Okay, I'm done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm already tired of looking at his head. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.